class is in session. Welcome into the Draft Seminar Rookie Profile Series hosted by Matt Hicks, the FF Educator, and I am joined as always by John Laub, the Gridiron Scholar. This is the Garrett Wilson Rookie Profile. Before we jump into it, I want to make sure everybody knows that this Rookie Profile Series is simulcast on the Rookie Big Board YouTube channel, the Rookie Big Board podcast channel, and of course, the NFL Draft Bible Podcast Network. You can find more of John's work at footballdiehards.com, and you can check out all of my work, including my 85 finished rookie evaluations and my full 2022 rookie rankings at patreon.com/the FF Educator. John, I know the viewers and listeners are excited for Garrett Wilson because they've been commenting on our videos and episodes for months, ready for Garrett Wilson. John, I'm sure you are just as excited as a true, long-time Garrett Wilson truther.
Matt, I've been Team Wilson for 2 years when we were talking Devy prospects. And I'll admit, I did the majority of my research last summer. So this year, when I was watching Ohio State, I was checking out C.J. Stroud. I'm watching Travion Henderson. I'm watching JNS, right? I'm watching other players. So about 10 days ago, I sat back down to watch Garrett Wilson tape. Matt, I felt like I was 15 again. I fell in love with him. Like, he's even better than I remember. The numbers might not say it. But, Matt, I'm going to put high praise here. I think he's Jerry Jeudy, Stephon Diggs, all wrapped up into one. I think he is such a smooth route runner, and I didn't think I'd ever say this. He's better than Jerry Jeudy deep down the field. They might be similar route runners within the 15 yards of the line of scrimmage. But, Matt, once you get 20 yards downfield, Garrett Wilson's better than that. Garrett Wilson is unbelievable. So let's look at him again. 2021, he had a good season, everyone. But if you look at the raw numbers, 70 catches, 1,058, and 12 yards. But remember, Ohio State was loaded. They have two players in this draft. We're going to look at Chris Olave later on. And then they have JNS, who is unbelievable. You know, arguably the top two dynasty wide receivers right now, Devy wide receivers. He was second team all Big Ten. He was the finalist for the Campbell Tyler Rose Award, Best in Texas. If you really want to go back, in 2020, 2 years ago, Matt, he was first team all Big Ten, 43 for 723 and 6 touchdowns. What I really like about him, Matt, you go back to as a true freshman. In 2019, he made an immediate impact. 30 catches for 432 yards and 5 touchdowns. And he had that amazing catch against Clemson in the CFP semifinals. That I still can visually remember that catch. But then I went back to his high school. Matt, this young man is just athletic, out of control. He earned a Division I basketball scholarship. He was All-American Bowl Man of the Year for excellence in community service, education, and athletic distinction. And I remember we talked about this on our Devy show, Devy Seminar. His junior year in high school, 98 receptions, 1,774 yards, and 19 touchdowns in high school. So he's like 16 or 17, right? Comes back, he gets an injury, so it's cut short, but over 1,100 yards and another 19 touchdowns. The numbers are silly in high school. And since he's walked onto the Buckeyes campus, Matt, he's been great. Matt, what did your film study say about Garrett Wilson?
Yeah, there's a lot to like here, John. It starts with the hands here. He reacts very well to the ball in midair, very consistent hands, good adjustment to off-target passes. And I got to tell you, it doesn't matter if you're watching the 2020 tape, the 2021 tape, the 2019 tape, you're watching the huddle tape, the hands are consistent. It's not going to be a problem for him, and that is very important for me in my evaluation. You referenced it, John, but the route running is fantastic. He has a great first step. It allows him to separate right off the line of scrimmage. I can't tell you enough. If you hone into one particular aspect of route running for me, it is that release off the line of scrimmage. That first step, when you're looking at what translates to the next level, that release, the ability to consistently create separation with your first step is so critical, and Garrett Wilson does it on every snap. He has over-exaggerated body movements in 2020 tape, but he cleans them up. He looks really crisp as a route runner in 2021, and he has a little bit of versatility to him. He can line up outside. He can play split in. I think he'll probably play primarily split in at the next level, but depending on the offense, there's a little bit of scheme versatility there. Now, he has a pretty diverse route tree, John. He runs a good post. He runs a really nice drag. He can run a good nine route, but you referenced it. He has the ability to separate downfield. He runs more complicated, intricate routes here, all right? A little bit of those combination routes, as we call them. But my favorite, John, is his comeback route. Those DBs bite hard on his speed. They have to respect him, and he comes around, and he has a nasty, nasty comeback route. Good handwork, John. Helps him create separation at the catch point if for some reason he hasn't already separated. I referenced it, but that speed, he gets going very quickly off the line of scrimmage, and he has great straight line acceleration here. I think he's going to smash his 40 time. Now, I will say the negative that I have on him here, I do think he struggles to separate in one-on-one situations here. So he's somebody who's going to want to separate before that pass gets to him. I don't think he's going to have trouble doing that at the next level, but he's not your go up and get it jump ball situation guy. Still, Garrett Wilson, 81.0 overall tape score and a very talented wide receiver class, John. Garrett Wilson still stands out amongst the best of them. Let's go ahead and dig into your numbers a little bit more.
First thing I want to say, Matt, I don't project him as an X receiver. 6'0", 192. Now, we haven't gotten an official weight, so he could be like 5'11", 190. You know, I look at him as a Z slot inside receiver, motion.
Agreed.
He's dangerous, and then he can use that quick footwork to get off. And one thing, Matt, when I watched the tape, I was consistently amazed at the separation 25 yards down the field. He doesn't have to catch contested passes, Matt.
Exactly, exactly.
There are literally times on film where he's got 4 or 5 yards on some dude 25 yards down the field. Now, part of it is the scheme, but part of it is literally just Garrett Wilson literally destroying the matchup in one-on-one. He's an amazing route runner, special player at times. I love the career stats. 68% catch rate, team aerial dominator. Now, this is actually from 2020, 34%. If you watch the Buckeyes this year, they just had Jackson Smith and Jigba. Sorry, Jackson Smith and Jigba rose from, all of a sudden he's just one of the best players in college football. So the numbers are down, which is amazing, the talent they had at Ohio State this year. But the hands are there. Separation is there. Receptions, 143 on a loaded team. So he's not going to get peppered with a huge share of targets sometimes. Average 15.5 yards per reception. And Matt, look at that. A healthy 24 touchdowns. Matt, I've fallen in love with him. He's my number 2 wide receiver. I mean, I don't usually get wowed by a player on route running because, there's like 1 yard of separation. But when you see 4 yards of separation on a regular basis, and then you're right, he is so quick in the 5 yards. They're in the red zone, 5 yards from the touchdown. He is literally open in a split second. I mean, he does some amazing stuff with his footwork. I mean, I do see a Stephon Diggs, Jerry Jeudy type player in here.
Absolutely. And John, I think we're in a pretty similar place here with his NFL draft projection. I have him projected day 1 late to day 2 mid. That is 20 overall to 50 overall. And I want to be clear here. I don't think he's getting out of the first round. I think he's going in those low 20s here. And if he ends up going in the teens, that's just going to push his fantasy projection even higher for me. But I currently have him as a weekly starter here. So that is a solid wide receiver 2 territory. And I think it's exactly what you said, John. If we can project him into volume, he's somebody who could really soak up the middle of the field here and hopefully have an X receiver pulling that top coverage for him. And then he could become a really viable fantasy football threat. In terms of his ADP projection, me and John are both very high on Garrett Wilson. I think he's going to slide under the radar. Now, here's the caveat. Based on all of the comments on our videos here over the last couple months, and feel free to comment and let us know on this one as well, there's a Wilson truther in every league. So you got to know your league mates here. Maybe you are the Wilson truther. But if you're not, he could slide to the late first round, and I think it would be a tremendous value. But I do, because folks are high on some of the other very talented wide receivers, justifiably high on, I think he could slide a late first round. That's my rookie ADP projection for him. Now, that being said, I'm high on him. I just don't think I'm as high on him as others. So I'm putting my exposure on him as low. It's not because I don't like him. And if I end up with a high exposure to Garrett Wilson, I'll be plenty happy about it. And John, I think our viewers and listeners will be plenty happy if they have a high exposure to our entire rookie profile series. So if you're listening, make sure you're subscribed. If you're watching, also make sure you're subscribed, comment on the video, give it a like. And as always, we appreciate you checking out this episode of the Rookie Profile series.
That was awesome.